Ah, here we are. Seven degrees below. What is that in Celsius?
That's got to be Celsius, right?
Oh,
No,
7
It's
Fahrenheit.
7 below Fahrenheit here too.
Yeah,
Scotty.
it's probably negative 20 Celsius then, somewhere around
Negative
there.
7 F2 Celsius.
It's either negative 20 or
Well-
negative 22.
Well, it's gonna be hotter,
Oh.
right?
Alan, you're right on. It's negative 21.
Oh shit! Yeah, I'm getting
That's
used to
crazy.
it because I have everything set to Celsius for me. Because since I've been
What? Why?
because I've been in Canada a lot lately, I'm gonna be there again for like a month. So
Oh,
back
nice.
up there in the March. So I'm just
Celsius
used
makes
to it.
more sense. It's like
Oh,
0
yeah.
is freezing and 100 is
Everything
boiling.
not in the U.S. makes more sense.
I disagree with that entirely. I feel like
As far as measuring systems go.
I mean, I agree with like all of the other
Metric.
non-American systems, but 0 Fahrenheit is really cold and 100 Fahrenheit is really hot, and I feel like that is the perfect way to suss
This
this out.
this is what you've been told, man.
You mean like if I didn't know that it was called
But
100, I
32
wouldn't
is-
think it was hot. Like
No,
I'd go
you'd
out
be
and
like,
go,
"Oh,
oh,
this
it's
isn't
a
so
nice cool
bad."
day today.
Nobody
But,
told
like,
me it was hot.
0 and 100 in Celsius.
Honestly, none of
means
it makes
something.
sense to me. None of it makes sense. Like
It's all
Celsius,
subjective,
Fahrenheit,
man.
it's just like it's either hot or fucking cold.
Yeah, let's just eliminate
I'm a
numbers
Kelvin.
altogether.
I'm a Kelvin guy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here.
How about we just get rid of math? Fuck math.
Yeah, it's really fucking cold. It's cold.
Demonetized.
I said it through the
What's
music,
up,
we're
guys?
good.
Welcome to the Guides and Guys podcast. Sunday, we're talking about the weather. Sound off with how cold it is wherever you are in Fahrenheit, Celsius, Kelvin, whatever temperature you want. Just don't tell us which one, so we have to guess if you're dying or if you're really just comfortable.
They
Okay.
can just tell us it's cold or not cold.
Now I
guess
gotta
that
check.
works.
-7 to Kelvin. 251?
Wow,
Wow.
see it. It's not as bad when you put it that way.
Wow.
It
right.
sounds
I
much
think
worse
0
to me.
Kelvin's
But
absolute
It's
zero.
251 degrees here, guys.
Woof.
Yeah, that
Not
sounds
bad at all.
ridiculous. Sounds like you're dying. You're getting scorched over there.
Actually, it's very comfortable. It's cold. Right on. So welcome, guys. We're gonna talk about stuff today. What do you got on the news topic? Megadeth guitarist Marty Friedman is coming to America for US tour. Sweet. How are we talking about that? I don't know. How was Champ?
Sweet.
How was your week? Was it okay?
yeah, my week was it was relatively a normal.
What you remember of it?
Yeah, I have been like racking my brain for the last 30 minutes to try to like figure out what actually happened this week. I've been struggling to come up with anything of meaning or value. I did
Wow.
I was supposed to go to a show. I didn't. And there's my story.
All right. What show did you miss?
It was a bunch of bands that I had never heard of before. Like it was like one of my buddies that said, like, oh, this my friend's band is playing. You should come with me. Blah 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 blah. I was like, all right, let's do this. This sounds kind of fun. And then he called me like a half hour earlier before we went, and he was just like, you know what, I don't really feel like going. I was like, oh, okay, well, all right. I didn't really want to go in the first place, but sure, this works for me. And then I was supposed to go see that Iron Claw movie, the Kerry Von Erich story or whatever. About the wrestling, and then I got canceled on that about an hour before I went also. So yeah, I had a lot of plans that just didn't end up coming to fruition, so I stayed home after work and played Yakuza, the man who forgot his name or whatever it's called.
Is that a new game?
Kinda. It's like a couple months old. I'm preparing for the actual new game that comes out at the end of this month. The new Yakuza game. There's like a million of them in the series.
Oh,
It's a lot
seriously?
of games. It's a lot of
Interesting.
games.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to try that
Yeah,
game.
and before we move on, like let's give a shout out to these beautiful people in our chat right now that are throwing in these wonderful donations. Thank you, Bill Hallisey, coming in strong before we even started the podcast with the $100 super chat. Says, hey guys, let's start off the morning right. Bill, you always start off the morning right for us, my dude.
Thank you very much.
That's ironic given how like the morning actually started. I didn't
Trying to
even
get us set right. man.
I'll get into it later.
And then Eric Ifun comes in with another $20 super chat. He doesn't have a message. He just wanted to make sure that we felt loved today. So thank you,
Yes.
Eric.
Thanks
you
Eric.
so
We
much,
appreciate it,
Eric
man.
and Bill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Hey, Akeem, CK in the chat says the Yakuza games are the most faithful. You'll get to actual Tokyo in game form. So,
Cool.
Oh,
hey, the most Japanese video games that you play,
So
right?
if you
there.
can't get there,
Okay.
play Yakuza, and you can know what it's like to be a gangster in Tokyo.
It is cool, man. They go through like Kamurocho and Tokyo and like all these other places. I don't know. I honestly don't know enough about Japan to know if any of them are real places. But
Kamurocho. I was like, what's that?
yeah, Sotenbori. I don't know if these places exist in real life, but
But they're in the game.
I'm gonna assume that they are replicas
I mean, Tokyo
of
does.
something. Well, you don't get to actually go to Tokyo in the games, unfortunately.
Oh,
So
man.
Oh man, that would be fun. Like that's my favorite part of the Spider-Man games is like pretending you're in New York City, even though it's
Hmm.
like not even close.
I agree. I think it's awesome. Like when they try to make like a faithful adaptation of
Dude,
something in
it
a
was
video game.
nuts when I went to LA and I knew where I was because of Grand Theft Auto. Like
Oh,
Elliot
yeah.
knew where he was. My bad. He's like, "Hey, that's my apartment building." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "No, there's a garage down there, and this is that part." And he like knew where to go to get to the beach.
That's
and shit. I'm like, oh my
crazy.
god!
Dude, there's something awesome just about seeing like just like your area in any sort of media form. Like I remember when Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle came out, and they were like in Newark and like all these places like where I live, and they were like, I was like, oh shit, that's the White Castle by my house. Like what the hell is happening right
crazy.
now? Like that's my White Castle that they're at right now. No.
Nice.
But yeah, that's it. Nothing really. Like a bunch of plans that fell through and me playing some video games. So nothing that anybody would have wanted to watch me do. And listen to exceptionally just an unnecessary amount of XG. I can't explain how much I've been listening to this stupid freaking J-pop group for the last 2 weeks, bro. Like I just can't stop listening to them.
Not
Stupid J-pop
I
group?
want to listen to him now because
I
we
say
listened to it
Stupid J-pop
I
group?
want to listen
for
to
our
our songs
They're
of the week,
actually
and it was great.
brilliant, but I say stupid just in the sense that I can't drag myself into listening to anything else right now for some reason.
I don't even know what that means.
What?
XG?
It's
Extraordinary Gals, I think it stands for.
Oh.
and it's correct. Is that all they do is hip hop stuff, or is there they got stuff with singing?
No, there's a
and-
pretty strong pop element to it also in their music videos. It's like they have mixtapes and they have like music videos. I like
Cool.
their mixtapes the most because that's mostly like hip hop based, and their music videos are like hip hop / pop.
right on.
That's
Cool.
it for me.
My week was all right from what I can remember of what happened when. I did do a live stream where I found some blocks on YouTube of Headbangers Ball. If you guys remember that on MTV when they used to play
yeah.
metal, you have to wait like late at night on a Saturday or Friday or whatever.
Yeah, one
I
of the
think it's
best shows
Saturday.
that they did.
Yeah, and there's these blocks of it playing like 2-hour chunks of Headbangers Ball. I'm like, sweet. So I went live, watched like I think 15 videos, and I didn't stop. I kept it like it was happening back in the day, chatted with people and stuff,
Nice.
and did some reactions after that. And of course it got blocked. Although the video's on YouTube, over 100,000 views, the channel can just let it play. But I put it up and they fucking blocked me. I got blocked like 9 different bands. Which makes perfect sense. Don't bother the channel that originally put it up, but get the guy who's trying to share the music.
Yeah, that's how it works.
It was cool though. A lot of old bands, some old, like it was late 80s, early 90s. So a lot of old thrash bands and stuff that had some vocals. Like it was reminding me of stuff I'm listening to now. So like then I heard it, I'm like, no. But now I'm like, dude, this is freaking awesome.
Throw
Nice.
something out there, like throw like a random band that you heard.
Oh Jesus, I wrote them down, I think. Celtic Frost, Cannibal Corpse, Napalm Death,
Oh wow.
Fishbone, Big Iron. Yeah, dude. Some cool bands like there. I mean, there was like Slayer on there, and
Those all sound fascinating.
it was
Have you
great.
heard of any of those before, Wave? Just curious.
Fishbone.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure someone requested them back like last year or something.
They're a
I think
crazy
Chris-
band. They got like punk, ska, metal, thrash. I mean, whatever. It's one of those bands where you hear one song, you're like, cool. You check him out, you're like, what the fuck?
Sweet
This isn't what I signed up for.
Yeah.
variety show.
Yeah. Because I was kind of surprised to see him on the Headbangers Ball thing, but what the song they had was heavy. It was good.
Cool.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
I used to like Napalm Death a lot back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool band.
Who else? I mean, there's like Dream Theater and Megadeth. The Megadeth songs from
Dang.
94, 99 Ways to Die, and it was all about gun violence, and they had a bunch of stats about gun violence and kids dying. I'm like, wow, this is sadly still relevant today.
Probably will continue to be
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
rest
yeah.
of our society.
That's a discussion we need to just curb right now. Wow, I'm dripping coffee everywhere. Anyway,
Nice to have you
that's
back, Alan.
yeah. Welcome back.
Thank
man.
you. Thank you.
Babyface Alan.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple weeks, for sure.
Yeah, did somebody like pin you down and shave your face at some point?
Yeah. I it was the other Alan. We were fighting, and yeah, it was
Bearded
whole
Alan?
one arm. And,
that guy in the mirror.
yeah, the guy in the
that
fucking
son of a
mirror.
bitch came
Oh,
back
man.
again.
He's an
Yeah.
asshole. He's a dick. But one good thing you guys probably noticed on the channel, there's a lot of new membership content. I'm trying to like really add to the membership channel for you guys. There's a bunch of reactions of Band-Maid of random people that I've been interviewing. They're going to be released too publicly also, but as early access to you all. Want to check them out. The memberships directly help us, and we truly appreciate it, guys. But we do have that on there. So been going through all that footage, getting all those videos released pretty much for the whole week. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I interviewed a lot of people. I have a nice, funny montage that's coming out soon of these bands or whatnot. The next one is going to be Hanabiye and Nemophila. So we'll see. We'll see how many people I can get to listen to music. It was
Dude,
I've
definitely
been enjoying those videos, man. It's cool seeing that the real time reaction from these unsuspecting people. Like, what?
same. It's
Exactly.
a
really
great
cool.
series.
And I just want to mention too, there's some people that are like, hey, why are you not introducing them and stuff? So what I've been trying to do is really get them to be comfortable and not know that there's a camera. So some of them don't really want to be introduced. So if you're wondering why I'm not like saying, oh, talk to the audience or whatever, it's because I'm really trying to get them to forget there's a camera. And I think I did pretty well. I think a lot of them forget. Because we talk a good 5 minutes before I show them the song. And then I just leave everything that's relevant to the song and the video or whatnot. So those are like genuine reactions, guys. Those are that's like
Nice.
to know them first. We talked and had a conversation, and then like her and I, the one being shown on the screen right now, we just talked for hours about music and like what's considered emo now and stuff like that. So it's really cool to get like people's perspective, and then I just go ahead and show them. So
Ooh.
yeah, that's so if you guys were wondering why, because there was a comment that put that, and I was like, oh, it's because I'm just trying to get them to feel comfortable.
Oh,
I
that's
want
so
them to forget that there's a
like
camera.
I don't know about you guys, but like the first several years I was making videos, every time there was a camera on, I would just like become a different person because I was like nervous, you know?
Yeah, you feel
So,
like you
like,
got put on a show. and
yeah,
not be
if you're
yourself.
thinking
Yeah.
about that camera, it's so difficult. It takes like years of practice, and it's still a struggle, you know?
Yeah,
It is.
I think it's-
Anytime I do content without like you guys here or like without Eric, when it's by myself, I still can't get over it. I feel unnatural. Like I feel like putting
Yeah,
on
dude. If I'm not
show or
live,
something.
I feel like I'm just bullshitting people. So-
Yeah,
It's weird.
exactly. yeah. You
So
feel like
true.
you're
Nobody's watching. What?
What were you
exactly
saying,
what it is.
champ?
I was just gonna. Well, at first I want to. I've never felt that way. I just weirdly, I'm just
'Cause
like
you don't
thinking,
care
like,
about people.
yeah, maybe that's it. Like, maybe I'm just like, fuck what they think
East
anyway.
Coast.
But no, I've always looked at the camera as like my guy. Like that's my dude right there, right? Like, hey, what's up, buddy? Right? Like, so
Ah,
I've never really
smart.
thought of it as like a camera, like looking at me as much as it's like, okay, that's the guy that I get to like bounce my thoughts off of, right? Like that's my friend right
See,
there.
I like to entertain people in person. Like it's so much more fun for me to be like. That's why I like being on stage so much. I love playing in front of people. I love entertaining people in person. That's why I love the live podcast idea that we did. It's so much better to me to have like actual in real time feedback. You know, because sometimes I feel like messages are like kind of weird. You don't know what they really mean by the messages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's something about in person. I definitely prefer it. I
What
hate
was
doing
that?
things through a fucking lens and shit.
Yeah, there was like some, I don't know, made up number, but about how you only get 10% of communication through text. and the other 90% that you would get in person, like, you know, actually talking to a person, is gone in text form
Mm.
or something like that.
Well, I feel like text is like all it is meant for really is like to get the information out, right? But without any of the real context or the swag or whatever personality that that person actually
Yeah,
has.
personality.
Because especially since like if you were to look at like social media now too, and you see just like go on Twitter or whatever, 90% of the way that people talk is exactly the same now. They all have like the same language that they follow. And it's really weird how it's like, like I'll tell you, the amount of people that I see are like, a white suburban girl from like, San Francisco speaking like she's from straight up the hood. And I'm like, there's no way you talk like that in real life, dude. Like you lose all sense of like person, like
And this
who you
is
are.
why I turned off all my notifications this week. Because I want to just be living in my own, like, real world, have real world interactions with people. And I'm sorry that I, like, so this morning I totally forgot it was Sunday. The guys are like signed in, ready to go, and I'm in my living room doing yoga, trying to be like
Oh.
zen. And then I get an email from Ryan. You okay, dude? And I'm like, oh crap, it's Sunday, and the podcast is in 15 minutes, and I've just been trying to take care of my blood pressure and stuff, and like, live a little bit healthier lifestyle. So I turned off notifications because, every time one goes off, it's like another bump to my blood pressure.
Right.
So I'm just like trying to disconnect from the virtual world and
So
live
And that just shows how fake
reality.
text messages are. Because I'm like, Wave, you okay? In reality, I'm like, where the fuck is he? He's supposed to be here. But I sent a nice message. You know what I mean?
Wave, I got something for you that I started doing. You can turn your phone into black and white mode. That's what I did.
What's
It
that?
fucking works. So if you go to on iPhone, there's like a display setting under accessibility. You can change it to black and white, and actually, it works. You look at your phone, you're like,
It's not
It's
as
just
interesting.
yeah, you're like, I don't
Interesting.
want to click on anything because you don't see all the fucking red circles everywhere and shit, and like to
It's-
check notifications.
It's
It's so
so
sad
dumb.
you have to do that though. Like now you have to change the settings on your phone so you don't touch it.
Dude, it's true though. I did this immediately when I started the channel. I turned off all of my notifications for every social media platform as soon as I started Champion Media channel. So I
Really?
haven't,
Huh.
yeah, that's why, like, if you guys message me on like Discord or something, it takes days for me to
Yeah, it's
respond.
fucking annoying.
because
That's why Champ is the
Kinda
chillest
hard to-
pickle.
I am not willing to get into that. I'm stressed out and
schedule a time to
overwhelmed.
check 'em at
all the
least.
ti- No.
See, okay,
See,
see,
that's
I
the part I
compromise.
forgot.
I compromise. I'm like, okay, let me check it one time during the day. Like there's a specific time.
I usually do check like once per day. I'll
It's
go
not GG.
in.
That's the only thing you don't check.
No, that's only when I do check.
okay,
The rest
never
of
mind.
sorry, personal relationships. You're just taking a back seat. But
They all know now. They all know you ignore their messages for us. We appreciate it,
None of
Champ.
them
I
are
think
watching this.
they already know.
Champ never responds until Saturday.
Yeah, that is
Like, no
often
matter
happen.
when you message him.
That's true. He's
What I missed
consistent
this
on
week.
Saturday.
Hey man,
Oh,
I'm trying to keep my blood pressure down too, my friend.
You know how like dogs, like I hate when people do this. They do the shock collars. We need like a shock thing for the phone, like when you touch it, it like zaps you.
That's
I
not
don't
going to
want
help
this
with
anymore.
Wave's blood pressure, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
but then you
throw
won't
your
touch it
phone
again.
through the window, and then all of a sudden you got a whole new set of problems.
Ugh.
All right.
What were we talking about?
I don't know, but I think we have like a giveaway to do this week, don't we?
Okay, yeah. So we have these awesome medals. Shout out to Pi. She's giving away some medals on her channel. They are there. So there's a mystery one to all of our memberships and to all of our Patreon supporters. This is our way of thanking you guys. We're gonna give these away next week. I just wanted you guys to see them. If there's any members that come up or Patreon supporters in the next week, we'll add you also. Hey, the longer you've been with us, of course, you're going to be like at the top of the list for that. And we'll do it on the randomizer, and then we're just going to give them away. And then we're giving away some other stuff. I got some Bay Metal merch, some Band-Maid merch that have doubles of that I just want to give out to the community. And there's some people that are donating some merch to give away to you guys. And so shout out to you all.
Actually, I got some to include with that too. I'll tell you.
Awesome. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we just want to get back to you guys as much as we can. So I know there's a lot of people that reached out like, hey, can I send you this so we can give it away to you guys? So we got you. We'll let you know more details next week. We just wanted to let you know that we're gonna be starting that next Sunday.
So the key change, what's being shown is tailored to kind of our crowd, but they are custom. If you go to follow the website, and they're custom made for whatever you want. So really cool stuff, really
Thank
quality.
you, Pi.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, awesome supporter of the channel. We appreciate so much for doing this. Thank you. And they're really cool. I still have mine on my keychain, my Gaijin guys right here, actually. Everyone
I
always
got mine
asks
in
me what
here.
it is.
Nice.
Yeah, mine's on mine too.
And we need to get the
Oh,
new logo
yeah.
though.
New logo.
Sweet.
We
There we
got
go.
it. We need a
Scott's got
GG
one.
one, huh?
Yeah, we need the GG one.
Oh, mine's starting to protect itself.
I
Starting to
feel like
not corrode.
we need a Ryan Muir one specifically. That's like, since they're called keychains, we somehow have to integrate the key change into a design and have it Ryan Muir based. There's
The
something
Ryan-
there. I
Oh,
don't
you're
know
gonna figure
exactly
that
The
out?
what's
Ryan
I
there,
Muir
but
love
key
there's something
change.
there. Yeah.
Well, oh, hold on. I gotta ask you guys something. There was a shirt idea that was like put in the chat. Was that something to do with the last show, or am I missing
Oh,
something?
mushy pushy.
Mushy
What
pushy.
the fuck was that about?
You missed-
Oh yeah.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
No, it's not.
Yeah. What's it sound like?
You don't want to know what I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
you're right.
You
It's
don't
because
want
you're
to
not
know.
wrong.
No, it's because he absolutely is wrong. Actually,
There's a couple ways it could
It
go.
was supposed to be something totally different than
and
what it is.
The ways that my brain goes is not suitable for YouTube.
Oh, maybe he is very wrong. He's got
Yeah,
a whole
now that
third
I'm
thing
thinking about
going
it,
on.
Wait.
It could
now.
be very bad.
Wait a
Yeah, you
minute.
don't want to know. So
Oh,
let's keep going.
oh no.
I
So
think
what do you guys mean for it?
It's a band name.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's our like for us?
No.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
I was like,
We're still
fuck.
working on Ryan.
Oh man.
Wow.
All right, am I getting any context or just leaving it there?
Well, if you watched last week's
I feel like what was it exactly? It's Wave thought something meant something, and
actually,
we were like, that is not it.
Isn't
the
about
band, the funny thing is Toshi99 requested that band on my live stream this week. The band that I botched the name of. I gotta figure it out.
Yeah,
now.
he thought the band was called Mushy Pushy. I believe.
Okay, Chameleon Lime Whoopie Pie.
Yeah, somehow
the
he got the
actual
Mushy Pushy
band.
from there.
Fuck did you just say?
Chameleon Lime Whoopie Pie.
I think I checked them out too. Somebody.
So that's an actual band, Alan. The Chameleon Lime Whoopie Pie.
How did you?
I
think
would have
that was a
believed
mushy
you if you said
pushy?
Mushy Pushy was a band, but that other name sounds more
Someone
fake.
just listed off a bunch of band names, and that one's like they were talking about
Don't say
bands that were
stuck.
going to be at a festival, and I was like, "What's the?" I couldn't remember. I heard this name, but I couldn't remember what it was. Anyway, one
Somehow
thing led
Mushy
to
Pushy
another,
came out.
and now it's a
Gross
heavy metal movement.
phrasing.
Norman's comments great. Those are all certainly words. Agreed.
Oh,
Okay. Well.
Um,
Where we
anybody
at?
else have anything about their weeks that they want to mention? No, I think we're done with that, right?
So everybody have a mushy pushy weekend.
Oh God.
Sorry. I was even uncomfortable with that.
oh, I have one last thing about my week. You
Okay, what?
guys, Ryan, you may have heard of this. Have you guys ever heard of Ikigai?
Ikigai. No.
It's the Japanese idea of basically it's your reason for getting up in the morning. It's like your passion that
Okay.
anyway, I've been reading a book about Ikigai and it's been really cool, which is why I had my
Awesome.
notifications turned off. But like I've just been trying to live a more better life for my blood pressure. So that's been really helpful. And it talked about the guy from Studio Ghibli, how he
Yeah.
like was supposed to retire and he just kept coming to work after he retired, and then he never retired.
Wow.
Sounds like a couple people I know too.
Because he was so passionate about what he was doing.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome though. If he finds something like that, why would you let it go? You know?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
best idea right there, actually. It's because it's like, okay, you have hit the point where you can retire, right? But
Yeah.
you actually like the thing so much that you're just choosing not to. To
Yeah.
me, that's like that you're right, Wave. Like that is your reason for like continuing, like
yeah,
keeping going.
it's the time that you're happy. It's the whole point of the book was like reaching your flow state, because when you're in your flow state, you're not thinking about all of your problems. You're just completely focused on whatever makes you happy during
Shit.
that time.
Ignore your problems and just.
No, the thing is like being
All right, I
at
missed the
peace.
point.
Good. Fuck.
It's being at peace with your problems, but not letting them get in the way of your happiness.
Yeah, that's something I struggle with. That's for damn sure. Fuck.
It sounds like
Same.
something we all struggle with, probably, right? Like that sounds like such a hard concept to actually complete to get to the where it needs to be.
Yeah, I was. I'll bring this up. It's interesting because I think Ryan's pretty good at it. Like, because we had a talk. So for those that know, I had an issue where I had a really high medical bill come in, and Ryan and I were talking about it, and he was so more chill about it. He's like, "Everyone's got bills. You just gotta pay it." And I'm like, "How the fuck does he do that? Like, just like whatever about it." Because for me, it's like the end of the fucking world. It's like it's just maybe how I was raised or something. It's just we were always like, you can't owe this,
Yeah.
owe
Yeah.
anything. So
Same.
I have this tension since I was like 12. I was always worried about being like, oh, you can't afford this, can't do this. You're gonna starve, blah blah. If you have these, that's it. Ryan was just nonchalant. So like that's what's weighing in my head. And I remember. So I think Ryan has that down. The whole being at peace with
Yeah. I'm pretty chill.
it's there.
That's awesome, man.
It's
Yeah.
it's a perspective thing. I try like with Alan, I try and try and help you out that way. It's just a perspective thing. Like a lot of times, if you have an issue that comes at you full speed that's relentless, it's the worst thing in the world. But then if somebody can be like, "Look, dude, you're far from the only person dealing with this shit," and
Yeah.
everybody else, it's a different way of looking at it, and usually that's what you need to kind of help you deal with the situation, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm in a similar situation, Alan. Like those medical bills were really
Yeah.
getting to me. Like every day I was just like shaking and
Yeah.
freaking out because I'm like, what are we gonna do?
I literally just sat and stared at the wall for like 12 hours. Like, no joke. I was just like, what the fuck do I do? But
American problems.
I want to give a warning to everybody in America about this. If you don't have insurance and you have car insurance, don't add the car insurance to the medical because you get fucked. So here's what I mean. So I went to this hospital, right? They said I owe $3,500. And I was like, oh, well, I had car insurance, so that should cover bodily injury, right? So I called and I said, hey, add this to it. They added it to it. I get the bill back. The insurance only gave me $200, and then they were like, your deductible is now $65,000.
Oh.
And I was like, why though? And they literally told me it's because you added insurance, so your not insured coverage goes away. So you actually, the
Jesus.
hospital bill you get is for not being insured. Once you add insurance, they go after you for all of it.
Holy crap!
So
that
tip to you,
sounds-
if that ever happens to you, God forbid, like I hope that doesn't, don't add insurance because it's
Yeah.
way cheaper than adding that insurance.
Insurance is a scam in many different instances.
Oh,
Unless you're in the
yeah.
military or whatever, that coverage, of course, covers everything. But
I'll say this, man. Like I had emergency surgery, appendectomy, like 10 years back or whatever. And when it happened, I had no insurance and I didn't have to pay for anything. And it was like, it's as if they know if you have no money, they can't get anything from you. So they just let you go. But if
Wow.
you're signed up to something that's going to give you money, they're going to keep going after it as much as they possibly can.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm learning that the hard fucking way. Like,
Yeah.
and I've been fighting them. Like, just take the car insurance off. Like, they like it's so funny. If you look at my bill, it says the car insurance sent them $200. That's it.
Dude, all these people
Oh my
outside the US
God.
are like, well, that's ridiculous. Like, yeah, we know it's ridiculous, dude. We literally can't fucking do anything about it.
And the worst
Dang.
part is the hospital fucked up my arm. and like there's no way to like prove it though. So because they fucking gave me the IV the wrong way and it hit a vein, and now I have this permanent damage to my nerves, like it like pulls and shit. Like, I have to be careful when I'm playing guitar. Like it sucks. It's not gonna go
Dude.
away.
Well, if you had more money, you could sue him.
Yeah.
But you don't, so you're fine.
Maybe you should take out
Exactly.
some suing insurance to pay
Don't do
for
that.
it.
They probably, you should check your bill. They
There probably
probably
is insurance for that.
they probably charged you for the injury to your arm. Like,
Yeah.
here's another
Yeah.
$7,000 for the hole we put in your arm.
Screwing up on a
no,
needle.
straight up. It's called pharmacy. It literally, the pharmacy line says $9,000. And I'm like, pharmacy from what? Like, what medicine did
Because
you
they
give
gave
me?
you like one Advil.
Jesus, man.
I was like, it's insane. I wish I
God.
had it with me because it is pretty funny when you just like read it, what they charge you for. It's ridiculous. But I know underneath pharmacy was 9,000. It was insane.
Dude,
And-
that's what my whole like. There's a song on my album, 4 Days, and it was like I was trying to get that rage out from that whole situation because it felt like literally going to that itemized bill. It was like they were just charging me left and right for things without ever talking to me. They're just like, okay, it's time to give you this. And they'd like give me a pill,
Yeah.
or like they'd come in, take another test, and then they'd charge like $1,200 for it. It's like, what the heck are you?
What happens when shit's not regulated by the government? They can charge whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
Another discussion we can't really get into right now. Oh god.
Yeah. Sorry. I had to mention that. I was always still thinking about making a video just to warn people about that. Like, you're better off not even putting fucking insurance on any of that shit. And that just makes me go like, well, what's the point of insurance on anything anymore then? Like, if that's the case, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's it. That's all I gotta say.
Weird.
Oh yeah, we're talking about Zen. Anyways, yeah, Ryan, he can
I'm at peace
he's
with
really
it.
good
You're
at being at
stressing me
peace.
out, dude. Fucking up my Zen.
Yeah, that's the thing. Cynical B. It's like you go there for the therapy to help you with this problem, and then they help you, and then you get the bill, and it just undoes everything they helped you with.
And
Because
you gotta go back.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Japanese music news.
Japanese
Yeah,
music.
there we go.
news.
Japanese music news. All right, let's go to that, guys, shall we? Guitar Hero Marty Friedman comes home for US tour. This is on the Gaijin Guys podcast website by article by Jonathan Lane. It says a Japan-based American guitarist Marty Friedman is back for a cross-country tour of the US in February. This is news to me because I hadn't seen this yet. It's cool. Guitarist Naoki Morioka and others joined Friedman for this historic tour starting in February 21 in Atlanta. The band joins John 5 for 6 shows on the With the Creatures in 2024 tour, finishing up in Albuquerque. Albuquerque. We're supposed to take a left. Albuquerque.
That's a Weird Al song.
Supposed to take a left turn in Albuquerque, according to Bugs Bunny. Friedman is well known to many music fans for his more than 10 years with Megadeth. Yet since the early 2000s, he has made Japan his home. While living over there, the prolific Friedman has been busy composing, performing, and teaching music. Moreover, he found time to show up regularly on Japanese TV and online music shows. We just saw him recently on Rock Fujiyama with Haruka from Asterism, and they got to jam together, and it was freaking cool, dude.
Is that
It's
on
awesome
YouTube?
seeing them play together. Yeah.
Oh, I keep forgetting to check that out.
Yeah, the auto subtitles are pretty good, and it's like 15 minutes, and they get to just shred together. It's awesome. Marty,
Sweet.
they play one of Asterism songs, and Marty like plays along with her and plays solos over it. It's awesome, dude. So yeah, dude, that's awesome. That's something I would definitely like to see.
So his bassist is the one from East of Eden. Is the girl from East of Eden?
She's played with
She
him.
was,
Yeah,
Oh,
he has.
cool.
I think Kyoshi even played with him. in
So,
Japan.
but who's he bringing with him? We don't know who he's bringing with him.
I don't know.
Yoshi's definitely played with him. That was she's toured with him.
Okay.
Yeah, but it says here, follow the show for interviews, insights, and Marty jamming with the likes of Midori and Miyako from Love Bites, Tomozo of Got Your Spin, Saki and Mayu of Nemophila, and Yuki of D Drive. So they've all jammed with him on the show. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Big
I wonder who he can grab for his actual like American tour. It's got to be somebody that can consistently stay with him. Like he wouldn't just like hire people from
Maybe I
America.
should call him.
Right?
I haven't reached out to him. You know, maybe I'd be like, hey man, I'll play some bass for you.
There you go.
you go.
You should definitely
There it
reach
is.
out to him for an interview, though. Seriously, though, I think he would do it.
Marty Friedman.
Yeah.
It does
maybe.
seem
Yeah.
like he would.
I think he
That's
would.
good news. Cool news.
Yeah. Do you guys want? Are you guys interested in seeing him when he comes over here?
Hell,
I am.
I am for sure.
What are the dates? That's so. Oh, here we go.
Starting February 21st in Atlanta.
Ah,
Then there's 6 shows. Actually, let me. I'm bringing up tour dates. California, LA, Nevada, Las Vegas, Colorado Springs. Ooh, St. Charles, Illinois. Maybe that's not too far.
oh. Those aren't
Arcadia
the ones I'm
Theater.
seeing here.
I
You
don't
guys
know.
have seen different ones.
Yeah, I've seen
I went to the
Atlanta,
Creatures in
Houston, Dallas.
2024. Maybe he must not be joining on every one. There's just certain dates he's joining. Okay. Well, I guess we'll
Yeah, I think Andrew put up the dates there. It was like
Thanks, Andrew.
Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, Tulsa, Denver, and Albuquerque.
Interesting. So it's only 1 week long, huh?
No, he's only on it for 1 week. The tour is longer than that. I believe is the situation.
The
Oh, okay.
tour is
So it's not
longer.
his
than that.
tour.
It's John
he's-
Five's tour. He's joining him on like 5 or 6 dates.
That's cool.
Interesting.
By the way, guys, I put the guysandguys.com website if you're listening. Make sure you join the newsletter because all the winners and stuff for the giveaways are going to be announced in the newsletters too. So you'll know ahead of time. So keep that in mind also. We just send out 1 or 2 emails a week and it's just about keeping you updated on the news and everything.
And
Yeah, do
also,
that.
thank you, John, for this article.
Dude, what the hell though with Albuquerque? Really? Like we're talking about
What?
Atlanta, Houston, Dallas, Tulsa, Denver, some of the most popular, cities in America, and then fucking Albuquerque.
Hey, Albuquerque's
What's
popular.
wrong with Albuquerque,
with-
man?
It's not in New York.
No.
Like what is this going on?
New York
Oklahoma,
can't get
Texas,
everything,
Georgia?
man. New
Yeah,
York
they
gets
should.
everything.
New York
They
does
should get
everything.
everything. They literally should get everything. Come on.
Well, not this time. Not this time.
You know, with as popular as Indiana is in television and movies for like being the place to be when like weird shit happens, I'm waiting for bands to be like, hey, maybe we need to go to Indiana.
Yeah, Parks and Rec is all in Indiana.
Yeah.
Pawnee, Indiana.
Stranger Things. I mean, it's all about it, man.
Hmm.
Come to Indiana. It's great. Strange things happen. Fun things happen. Also,
about
there's a lot of
Wisconsin?
fields and corn. That's about all you're gonna see.
Hey, you can pelt each other with corn.
Mm.
Yeah,
Something
that's
I
what
guess
they
you could
do in
do.
Indiana.
That's also theft, and you shouldn't do it.
Which part? The corn?
Stealing corn out of cornfields.
Oh.
I can't remember where I used to live, but there was a cornfield and we'd go out there, build a fort, and yeah, we'd pelt each other with fucking kernels from the corn.
Yeah, then the farmer goes out there. What the hell? Goddamn kids.
Dude, I actually saw like a super sad video the other day of some woman I think it was in South Korea, that had like a whole farm, and at some point just like hundreds of people just showed up and stole all of her stuff, just like slowly right in front of her as she's like sitting there
Yeah, man.
crying on the ground, just like hundreds of people just grabbing all the stuff that she was farming, which was like a very specific, I don't remember what it was, but it
What the
like only
crap?
grew in certain areas, and they just took it and left. It was
Wow.
insane. I couldn't believe that something like that was happening, and there was like nobody doing anything
It
about
was like
it.
an organized.
Yeah.
Man, so
Fine.
she. Wow. I wonder what she did to deserve that.
I mean, I was about to say hopefully nothing, but I guess hopefully something. I don't
To organize that much? No, that's. I'm
We're
sorry.
only
I'm
here
sorry
on
for
one
her.
side of this.
It's a horrible thing. Shouldn't
Yeah,
happen.
it was pretty miserable, but yeah, don't steal people's crops. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
man. I don't know why something like that would happen, but that seems very specific, huh?
Hmm.
All right. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Let's move on. The best Japanese rock and metal band from each of the last 5 decades, chosen by Ryoji
Oh, yeah, I saw
Shimoto.
this.
Okay, so this will be interesting because I wonder how many will agree with on here. The best Japanese rock and metal band from each of the last 5 decades.
Yeah.
Each of the
So-
last 5 decades.
What
Okay.
was the band? Because we talked to him, and he was
He was a little weird about the whole some of the female
Well,
bands.
what was the
actually.
band he was?
remember?
What was it called then? Because he changed it.
Oh, it's called Gize.
Gizeh?
He's
Yeah.
yeah, okay. And now it's Ryujin. But yeah, he didn't seem to like the females.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he mentions baby metal in this list.
Well, let's look through here.
Yeah.
So let's see here. The 1970s Tulip, which I'm not familiar with. You guys know them?
I don't. I meant to go listen to them and to see what he was talking about, but
Oh, it's of the
Right.
last 5 decades.
Decades, yeah.
yeah.
That's a huge window.
It is.
So he chooses
1980s
1970, and then he has 1980s.
Bowie.
Hmm.
Yeah, never heard of them.
1990s got X Japan. We're getting into territory we're a little more familiar with.
It's funny. I always kind of think of them as 80s, but I
They
guess
sound-
they existed more in the 90s.
Well, Japan, and I've mentioned this to Japanese fans too, that the music in Japan seems like it's about 10 years. Like what we were into 10 years ago, they're kind of into now. So when 90s X Japan is like very much like 80s US music.
Yeah,
Oh
it
no!
does seem
Does
like
that
that
mean we're
happens.
doomed in 10 years?
It's funny
What-
because in this his comments for X Japan, he's like they're Japan's first speed metal band, but at the same time they also exhibited notable elements of classical music. Agreed. Metal songs are great and all, but ballads are also beautiful. I don't like Visual K, but they are
Speed metal
different.
band?
They are different. I agree with everything you just said that right there.
Yeah, they are
actually,
different.
I don't know if I would.
Speed metal band?
Speed metal is a little weird of a thing to put on them.
Yeah.
Maybe
But
they
maybe-
did though. I haven't listened to a lot. Maybe they have earlier stuff that was like that when they first started.
Also, maybe just in comparison to like other metal bands that were coming out of Japan at that time, maybe they actually were
Sure.
like twice as fast.
Maybe, yeah, just literally speed as opposed to like
Yeah, like not what
Shredding
we would
kinda.
think of as speed metal, but
Yeah.
just like faster BPM than other bands that were out then.
Guess we could look at what he says. Tulip, he says, I don't think there was much rock music in Japan in the 70s, and Tulip were often called the Japanese Beatles. But the lyrics were in Japanese. They were making music that was still considered very Japanese even now. So right on.
And what year? This was the 60s
That was
or
the
70s?
70s. I went
I'm
back. So
curious
that was
to
70s.
hear that now.
Yeah, me too. I mean, even back for us, right? Like when was Black Sabbath out? In the 60s?
70s.
The
Late
70s?
Late 60s, early 70s. Yeah.
Yeah, so like if they were 10 years behind even then, like metal like literally wouldn't even exist at that point.
Well, yeah. yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense.
For the Bowie one, he says in Japan, when the economy was booming, a lot of bands suddenly appeared that were clearly imitating Western music, rock, metal, and punk. In a sense, I think Bowie were the first to establish actual Japanese rock.
Mm,
Many
okay.
Japanese bands copy Western music, but Bowie really showcased their own unique sound. Okay. We're getting into a little of his reasoning here.
I'm pretty sure Yoyoka had covered a Bowie song before.
Yeah?
It sounds familiar.
Right on. Okay, 90s X Japan. Alan just read about that. So the first
Oh, sorry.
speed metal band. At the same time, they also exhibited notable elements of classical music. So very diverse music for them. 2000s Glay, which I've seen the video or two. Did we talk about them before?
I
Glay?
don't know that band
Or
either.
Gray?
Glay.
Maybe it's Gray.
Let us know in the
Uh,
comments, guys. If you're listening, let us know in YouTube comments if you've heard of these bands.
Literally never
I know
heard
I've
of
heard
them.
them. The 2000s were a time when a lot of CDs were being sold and TV was very lively. Glay are the most popular band in Japan and coincidentally are also from the hometown of Hokkaido. Always a million seller. Right on.
All right.
Okay.
I don't know how I've never like even heard that name ever before. That's crazy.
All right. 2010s Baby Metal. With the internet becoming mainstream in the tens, it became possible for any artist to approach the entertainment market overseas. They may not be a traditional band because they don't directly compose or play their own music, but they truly represent modern Japan. This is an artist that Japan is proud of, and I can absolutely see how people from outside Japan enjoy what Baby Metal is doing.
All right. Let me
That's
just
a
say
subtle
this.
jab. Right
Yeah.
there.
Well, no,
That is a subtle jab.
I don't know if he meant it to be. I honestly don't. I think that first of all, he's putting them where they belong as like inspiration of a decade, right? Like
'Cause he's not a fan of baby metal, so I'm surprised that he put that on there.
Yeah.
so obviously he's
acknowledging them.
recognizing,
He's
you
acknowledging
know,
them,
how
yeah.
important they are
For sure.
and their talent level. What I don't love is what you're probably referring to as the jab is like they don't write or produce their own music part. I hate
That's
when
why he
people
doesn't
say
like
that.
them.
But I
Because
hate when
he's-
people say that because they are not the only members. The three girls up front are not the only members of the band. Like if you had like a vocalist in any other band, right? that wasn't writing the guitar parts or the drum parts, would you be like, that vocalist doesn't produce the music? No, you just be like, they're a part of the band, just like the fucking girls up front are
Yeah.
part of the band. So I don't understand why people have to separate that. Like the guitarists and the drummers of the band are writing the music. It's not like they don't exist.
It's just the way they market it. So they're the ones out front. They never mention about Koba Metal that his name's plastered on every single CD about how he produces and puts everything together.
They don't put the band on the posters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose
that's the disconnect.
I guess
I agree with you, champ, but yeah, that's the disconnect.
Like I don't know any of the names of like the people that play in Paramore besides Haley Williams. You know what I mean? So like I kind of think of it like the same way, where it's like they're promoting Haley Williams as the front of Paramore. They don't really talk about the rest.
Yeah,
of the
that's kind of crazy. But that's an actual band, which is wild. How I always find that fascinating when that happens. When there's a band and they have an actual name, but they still just refer to like the singer or whatnot.
It was kind of the same with No Doubt too, right? Like Gwen Stefani was the feature of No Doubt. Nobody knew
but
the
at
names
least
of anybody
they
else in the
started
band.
off strong with No Doubt. It's because Gwen Stefani did her solo stuff. You know, is a little bit different. But I was gonna say with this with Ryojin, we did an interview with him. You guys could check it out. He says on there he's not a fan of that type of music. So I actually do really appreciate that he was willing to recognize how important it was for them to make that huge crossover, you know, for a very long time.
Yeah. Right on. I guess it doesn't go into the 20s.
Oh, that was it? I would be really curious to see what he said for the 20s. He's probably gonna, maybe they'll say themselves.
Yeah. Ryujin.
Maybe.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that he was willing to like at least give Baby Metal their props, even if he probably is never going to listen to them. You know, that's fine. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I respect and appreciate that I'm not going to listen to either. But it's important to acknowledge like significance. So
well, I gotta say, I was the big takeaway, like when I was showing Baby Metal and Band-Maid to people. Band-Maid was, I don't know why I was shocked. I'm so happy for it. I was surprised with how many people enjoyed Band-Maid. I thought a lot of people would be like, this is not my thing. But the women I showed really liked it a lot. And where I had like 2 of them actually add it to their Spotify playlist right afterwards immediately.
Nice.
And stuff like that. And this is just a little sidetrack. It's just weird. Like presentation really is something, or like with the name. But a lot of the things with Baby Metal and Band-Maid, that name, what I've noticed from the interview, puts everybody off with Baby Metal or Band-Maid. As soon as I say the name, when I ask them, what do you think when you hear that? First off, they think pop. So if they do like rock, then they're not gonna. Oh, what the hell? I forgot about it.
They're like, what kind of weird stuff are you into?
So yeah, exactly. And that was so. It was actually shocking when I showed them this song because their reaction was greater, because they're like, "Oh my god, I wasn't expecting this."
And that's part of the gap. I mean, that was like part of the reason for doing what they do.
Yeah.
So the name really puts people off, especially Baby Metal. That was pretty drastic. Band-Maid also, but Baby Metal a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like it was like what?
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
And then
especially now,
there.
If you see him, it's like, well, they're like adults. What?
They're so confused.
What's going on here?
It's also a little, it's like so on the nose too, right? Like the name reflects exactly what they were trying to push when Baby Metal came out. And it's like, yeah, dude, like I mean, it's kind of like, you know, the first person that Metallica told, we're gonna name our band Metallica, was probably like, dude, don't you think that's a little on the nose, right? Like you're
right?
Metallica,
Really?
like seriously, like this is and I think that does actually hurt a lot. It's probably so much harder to get somebody to, okay, well, this is obviously going to be a baby version of metal, right? Like
metal played on like a xylophone.
Like one of those little baby, like they literally have like a small guitar and stuff.
Also, the thing that was weird too was more people in the US knew about Baby Metal than in Canada. Now I thought that was interesting finding too. Nobody knew about Band-Maid. There was a lot of people I got to introduce. I can't wait to do the US one with Band-Maid.
Good job, man.
We got Canadians in the chat.
Well, maybe Canadians just don't know anything.
Yeah, I was shocked with that, but
dude,
I'm not surprised though that they would like Band-Maid before Baby Metal, just because I think that like we're talking about the accessibility factor of it's just a rock band, right? Like it's just a rock band. They happen to be wearing maid costumes, but if they weren't wearing the maid costumes, the gimmick is gone, right? While Baby Metal has
Yeah.
like kind of the surrounding gimmick with them. Like if you got rid of the Baby Metal gimmick, it wouldn't really be anything anymore, right? Like it has to exist within it,
Yeah.
or you'd have to readjust like the way that you're selling it.
What
With
if they
Band-Maid, you
did?
could just
What
throw
if
it
they
in.
did what they do? Right. Let's say they don't change at all, but just a different name.
Who, Baby Metal?
Yeah, they do
Yeah,
exactly.
I
what
mean,
they're
like
doing, but a
let's say you
different
called
name.
them like cattle decapitation. Like would a like would a bunch of metalheads be like, yo,
Preloaded,
this
ready
is
to go.
sick?
Oh my god!
Yeah,
and all they do is
you're
talk
right.
about like
You're right.
slaughtering cows or something.
Right? Like I feel like there would be like a bunch of like 80s old school metalheads that would be like, hell fucking yeah, dude.
Oh my god, we need that to happen. Can we get a band like Baby Metal and they just talk about decapitating cows?
Cattle decap-
Then
I
a
love
new
how
death metal band.
ready Champ was with that band name.
As soon as
Oh.
he said that, I was
Give
just
me
like,
beef.
it's gotta be. That's the only one I could go with.
Uh,
Yeah, I don't know, man. But I
Yeah.
will say this. I think that okay, so Baby Metal, I think they've gained more traction from their name and gimmick than they ever would have lost by not having it in the first place.
What this is a good I gotta experiment here. What if we call Baby Metal Passcode? What if those names were switched?
Well, Passcode is
Passcode is a
exists.
I
badass
don't
name in my
understand.
opinion. I think
Passcode.
Passcode is a really cool name.
it's
That
yeah,
would work.
but
If I
they
said,
do
hey,
exist.
hey, check out this band Passcode, I'd be like, yeah.
Well,
'cause
then
when I heard
Passcode
it's
that
a
would be more
cool
popular.
name, but it doesn't immediately generate curiosity. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
True,
Baby
true.
Metal is like, what the?
What
is
the
this gonna
fuck?
be?
Yeah, that's why I think that
They should have called themselves Baby Code. I don't know.
baby
They wouldn't know.
code.
Metal is the one that's what brings people in.
Yeah, the
It's
Metal
that,
metal
it's
baby
that
might
stark
be the turn off.
contrast in Baby Metal. It's just
But,
it's a brilliant freaking marketing system.
I
dude.
think
It
they
was
nailed the
brilliant.
marketing. I think that they might not have ever gotten to where they are if they didn't have that marketing right in the first place.
Going
Yeah.
about names, Band-Maid. So I was wearing my Band-Maid shirt, a purple one, just as Band-Maid. And somebody's like, "Oh my god, I really like that name. That's clever," because they thought it meant it was another name for a roadie. I was
A
like,
roadie.
A band
Yeah.
made.
Band.
You're here to
That
was
clean up the
another name
stage.
for roadie.
Okay,
Get
that's
out your
cute.
duster and dust off the drums.
Band-Maid. That's funny.
I was like, that's a pretty good. I was like, okay, I hear it. Imagine.
You think
Oh,
that's cool?
interesting.
Listen to this.
I mean, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I actually think that the name Band-Maid is holding them back. And I'm not sure how much.
I think so
but
too. From the interviews, yes.
I think that Baby Metal actually pushed them forward, but I think Band-Maid actually made it harder for people to get. I think that because of the style of music, and there's so much less reliance on the actual like outfits and the gimmick that they have, because it's not like anything that they do in the videos or anything like that have to do with being maids. It's just what
Right.
they're wearing, really. I think that makes it a little difficult for some people that are maybe a little more closed-minded to
Yeah, it
to
puts
give them a
people
real
off.
chance.
So if they started
once they
incorporating
listen-
more maid activities in their videos, would they create some
No.
more buzz?
Well, but once you
they're
trap
just
them in a room
sweeping.
and make them listen to it, then they don't have a choice but to hear.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I would
They're-
like this would
They
be
gave
an
themselves a
interesting-
higher hurdle to get over.
Yeah, wouldn't it be an
Yeah.
interesting experiment though
Makes it
to
more impressive.
have people listen to them without telling them what their name is first? Like let's see the
I've done
difference
it.
between somebody. Hey, check out this band. I'm not going to tell you what they're called and nothing about them. Just listen to this song, see how they feel about it. Versus somebody, okay, they're called Band-Maid. They dress like maids, like blah blah blah. What is going to be the difference going in on that?
I've
watch?
done that, dude. And they're like, "Who's this called?" I'm like, "Well, they're called Band-Maid," because
Yeah.
they're gonna be like, "What? Band-Maid?" Then you
Did
have to explain.
anybody say they're not going to listen after you told them the name?
There's always like, well, why? But then I explained, like, hey, it's just a thing. Like, no, the people that liked it, they like it.
Yeah.
Dude,
One
I
dude,
gotta-
I was listening to it at work, and he's like, "What is this it's playing?" I'm like, "Oh, you like this? He's like, yeah. I'm like, cool. Check this out. And I play like From Now On, fucking Black Hole. I'm like, listen to this. He's like, dude, this is awesome. And he didn't give a shit what it's called. He just liked it.
You think it's a social thing though? Like you just feel embarrassed to like say like, oh, I listen to Band-Maid, and that's why people don't share it as often, maybe.
I'm gonna say no, just on the merit that like made can mean something different, right? Like, so there is obviously a double entendre where it's like Band-Maid could also be like band MADE, right? Where it's like we are just a band, right? And I think a lot of people that I've watched do reactions to Band-Maid for the first time don't even acknowledge that it's MAID until they see them dressed as maids and they go,
Yeah.
oh look, oh, now I get it. That's why it's called Band-Maid.
Now I get it.
And I think they were thinking that it was literally like MADE, like just didn't really put two and two together
Right.
before that.
I gotta tell you guys a story about one of my real life friends who I guess he saw a video I posted about Addo, and
Yeah.
he randomly sends me my own video, and he's like, "Are you going to the Addo show in Chicago on the 25th?" And I was like, "Maybe." And I was like, "This is so random," because he's one of the guys that always makes fun of me for Japanese music because
Hmm.
of the name Band-Maid and Baby Metal. Then he's like, "Have you heard of Baby Metal?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Apparently, this guy he works with is going to that Addo show, and
Yeah.
he remembered like, "Oh, I saw that on Waves channel," and then like that clicked with him, and then the guy was talking about Baby Metal. So it's just so funny. Like these, I'm like, of course I've heard of Baby Metal. Who hasn't? But
Yeah.
to him, it's like he'll see it and he'll just instantly dismiss it, and then
Yeah.
it's never in
Yeah.
his head again. And then it's like he didn't even know that I, talk about Baby
Yeah.
Metal a
I
lot.
think it's starting to spread though, because I went to the post office just a couple weeks ago and there was a guy there, and I was like shipping out Dichotic shirts, and I was like, yeah, I have a lot of fans that are overseas, so I have to do the international shipping. He's like, oh, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I like mainly talk about Japanese music, and I go over the production breakdowns and things like that. And he was like, dude, I love Japanese music. And it's just weird hearing that out in public, like somebody saying that. So I wonder, I mean, this is just a one case thing, but I saw it somewhere else too, where I was talking with other people and they're talking about Japanese music. So I wonder if it's starting to like just pick up, especially on
it
the
is.
pop side.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's definitely, I
Hopefully.
mean, there's more bands coming over here and trying to make an effort to get over here. So I think
There's a
there's
lot.
the only reason for that is there's a desire for it to band.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to address this question that Rob put out in the chat. He said, "What would happen if Band-Maid wore skimpier outfits?" And I've been thinking about that since
They would look
he sent
like
that in.
a lot of other bands.
Rolling quartz.
I wonder if that would be a negative or a positive to like how much people would give them a chance at first, right?
I think it would be a negative because it put up another barrier of sharing them. Because a lot of people, when you show them like an all-female band, the first thing is they're like, "Oh, you just like them because they're all girls, and you're just obsessing over them." And you
Right.
already have
Exactly.
that
I
stigma
agree.
immediately. So now, if they're wearing skimpy clothes, you damn well I'm not showing anybody at that point, because now their first thought
Oh,
is
this
like,
is why you
"Oh,
like them?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly."
Exactly.
Yeah, just go sign up to their OnlyFans guy. Come on, let's be real.
Right. I do appreciate when I do show somebody that I don't have to worry about like, oh, well, don't worry about, I mean, it's more about the music, there's
Yeah. Very
Yeah.
it's
modest
still
outfits.
beautiful and still, they care about what they're wearing, but it's less about look at me and more about listen to me,
Yeah.
which I
And that's
really, really appreciate.
that's one of the qualities that really attracted me to Band-Maid is they are so like they have this humble, modest persona. Like they're not trying to say, "Look at me."
Yeah,
Konami.
they started out they started out with pretty short skirts. I mean, they were in
Oh
heels
yeah,
and stuff, and that changed. They get more and more conservative, really.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
But
think
Konami, like the genius behind the band and the rock star guitarist playing solos all the time, she also seems like she doesn't really like the spotlight that much. And I don't know. I just find that really interesting.
I think they might get more casual fans right off the bat, but they wouldn't have as many loyal supporters
Yeah.
if they did that, right? Because it's like clickbait on YouTube. more people click on videos if you have skimpy girls in the thumbnail than
Sure.
if you don't put the skimpy girl in the thumbnail. But how often are those people going to come back, and how loyal are they going to be to the actual content you're producing beyond that? And I think it would be less so in
Yeah,
that case.
It's like
There-
like a long game with,
satisfying a very temporary thing instead of like listening
right.
to the music.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm so glad they didn't go that route, because I'll be honest, I would have clicked on them anyway. You know what I mean? And for me personally, I don't think it it wouldn't make a difference for me one way or another. But I'm glad, just based on the type of people that they attract at this point, it's not based on skimpiness and stuff like that. It is because people really love their music. At least most people, I would say.
Yeah,
Rosie
somebody's
still
ma-
doesn't believe that, but I
Rosie
don't think
doesn't
she
believe
ever
what.
will. That I watched Band-Maid because of their music.
Come on.
I think, yeah, I can see that. I mean, I've been in a similar situation, Wave, where I've gotten those comments like, "Oh, it's because you like them or whatever," and I'm like, "So you're still gonna get those comments anyways?" And I'm like, "No, the music's actually really fucking good."
It's actually funny hearing that come from a girl, though, because I've definitely heard guys say that to me, right? Like, oh, you just like them because they're cute girls, right? And it's like, I do like cute girls, that is true, but that's not why I like them in particular.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that they are also cute girls, but I
I've heard
really
it
like
more
their music.
from I've heard it more from women, actually, believe it or not, like 3 or 4 now. that I
That's
can think of.
interesting to
So
me.
I just
Dude,
yeah.
But
dude, women
that's
are
like
way more harsh on other women than guys are on women.
yeah, that's like the women saying like what? So like they're basically saying you're not capable of listening to a band full of girls because
Yeah.
the girls aren't talented
It's
enough
even
to
worse.
like
It's
attract
even
you
worse
to it.
with baby metal, dude. It's even worse with baby metal. It's
Yeah.
fun times.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, all I would have to do, like, I just feel like play Road of Resistance, and you just, that's all, right? Like, that's all you need to do. Play Road of Resistance. This is why I like baby metal, right? Like, I don't,
Yeah.
it shouldn't, and nothing else should have to be shown beyond that.
Yep.
Guys, I gotta skip out just for a second. I'll be right back.
All right.
All right.
But yeah,
Cool.
anyways, it's just crazy. It sucks that it's there, and it's always going to be there. It's never going to go away. It's human nature. It is what it is. That's why I just say like what you like. Try to understand why people like it. There are people that like bands for those other reasons, for the perv reasons. There's going to be those people no matter what. There's going to be people there for the music. There's going to be people there that are for the looks. You're going to get a wide variety of all those kind of things. And yeah, it's just going to happen. Especially whenever you have, it happens on the guy side too. Boy bands, the same thing, just on the reverse end. It's always going to happen.
Oh my God, the K-pop scene, bro. Like, I mean, it's so funny how much of that scene is reliant on the sexuality behind it, which is also like they're really careful about not being overtly sexual like Americans are. Like, if you watch Cardi B or Meg Thee Stallion or something like
WAP.
that, it's literally just girls in thongs the whole time. And they would never do that in like the K-pop scene, right? So they're gonna show off like a midriff or some like shoulder action, like here's my calf, like check that shit out, bro. Right? Like,
And it
it's
means more than when you get a crotch shot of Cardi B.
it's so reliant on it, but they really don't go overboard with it to the point where you're ever going to be like, oh my God, that's like way too much for me, right? So
Yeah.
it's an interesting system that
You ever see somebody was mentioning this in chat? I just saw, I can't remember who it was, but they're mentioning like remembering a time when older music, you had to listen to music and you didn't have the looks first. And I remember somebody else talking about that. It is fascinating because you go back and look at some of the old pictures of the 70s bands, and you're like, oh God. like, oh, this guy looked like he just crawled from under a rock. It's fascinating when you see those older bands. Like, I was looking up one, I can't remember what their name was. I knew the songs, I didn't even know the name of the band, and I was just like, it's just funny seeing that because they're just like just regular ass people just playing some music,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Not worry about looks.
A little different nowadays, huh? I mean, music,
Yeah.
well, we used to, I guess, be more audible, and now it's there's a lot that goes into the music scene with the visual aesthetic
Oh,
of it,
Daniel said
too.
that comment. Daniel, thank you for, yeah, that's a good point, Daniel.
It's all magical, dude. You never know what's gonna catch people's attention, what's gonna pull them in. Cause like, you could make great music and never have anyone listen to it because you don't make them curious about it. You know?
I was gonna say also with the women fans, like they lean into it. They don't give a fuck. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, we like because they're hot as hell." I think that's why they look at us and be like, "Oh, that has to be the reason why you like them." Maybe that's why. I mean, it's generalization. So
Rosie will
course.
admit that's
everybody.
why she likes. Well, it's a combination, but
Yeah.
you know, she's a fan of a lot of guys that are just hot
Yeah.
and talented. It's got to be a combination.
Dude, I'm like kind of with Rosie on that though, because there's like I really like so talent's the first thing that I'm gonna notice, right? But if you're
And
gonna
hot
take
guys.
like yeah, and hot guys. But if you're gonna take like a really talented person, right? Or they're super talented. Let's just give them the rating of a 94 out of 100, right?
Okay.
And they're not hot versus the exact
Stapleton.
same talent level, but they are hot. I'm probably watching the latter more often. You know what I mean? Like it's the same talent level, but one's a little hotter. I'm probably using that as my nail in the coffin type of movement.
Rosie's in the chat.
Rosie also thinks that Captain Jack Sparrow is like prime man meat. So her
Okay.
taste is very specific.
I don't disagree with her on that. I'm
I
not gonna lie.
mean, if he was in a band, fuck, that band would be popular.
Yeah.
He
Wait,
is
he is in a band. I mean,
Yeah.
Johnny is, but not Jack Sparrow.
True.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think Jack Sparrow's hotter than Johnny Depp.
Hell yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah, I think
Jack
so.
Sparrow live forever. Johnny's
I'm
getting old.
I'm pulling back the curtain too much.
Please
right now.
don't clip this.
I'm clipping this. I've already got it in the books. This is the Champ's obsession with Johnny Depp and Jack Sparrow.
Just Jack Sparrow, not Johnny Depp. Like I don't want to make out with Edward Scissorhands, bro. Like fuck that
Yeah.
Why not,
Don't
dude?
trim your beard
Maybe-
while you're.
shit.
I mean,
hanging out.
you multitask. You can make out and get a trim.
Wow.
Yeah, it just doesn't hit the same as the dreadlocks.
All right.
Charisma for me,
What's
man.
next on this
Oh.
board, Ryan?
Is
Oh
this,
yeah,
is this supposed to
Japanese
be quick
music.
news? I don't know where we're at.
I don't
It's
know.
fine. We're having conversation. It's all good. Up next, we gotta Bring Me the Horizon. Team up with Paledusk Die on new single Kool-Aid.
Hell yeah, I'm checking that out today.
Mm.
Can't wait.
Oh yeah.
Wait, who was
So if
that?
you're like-
I missed that. Sorry.
Bring Me the
Paledusk and Bring Me
Horizon.
the Horizon.
And in honor
up.
of this, I dressed as the Kool-Aid Man today.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Is Die from Paledusk the
So-
singer?
I'll explain. Paledusk producer and guitarist Die has once again teamed up with the multi-platinum Sheffield unit Bring Me the Horizon as co-producer on their latest single Kool-Aid.
Fuck yeah.
There you go.
Dude, he's a good producer, man. He is a really good producer. He's done other bands. He did Trident, right? If I think I got that right with
Yeah.
Scoopy or whatnot.
Oh, okay.
Hope I got the name
Okay,
right.
okay.
He's so good. Like that song is a fucking phenomenal. He does a great job producing. He's done
So
other
he-
songs too. I can't remember the names.
Yeah. So he's not like playing guitar or performing. He's producing. That's cool.
I think
Okay,
that's his
check him
lane,
out.
honestly, because they keep losing members in Paledusk. So I hope he keeps going
Yeah.
on producing. He is a great producer. 100%.
So he
Mhm.
produces all of Paledusk's music, then, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. I do think their production is excellent.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. So that's cool. Nemophila preview third album Evolve with a YouTube trailer.
All right, tell
Have
me
you
about
guys
Did
it.
you
watch
dude.
watch that?
Have you guys watched it?
I did
have
watch
not.
it. I'm ready to talk about it.
I have. And
I'll let you guys go
I'm a
over
little
first.
concerned.
Ooh.
Oh, you're
I'm a little
concerned?
concerned.
I want to hear it.
I like their heavy stuff,
I gotta watch it real quick.
and it seems like they're not going to do much of that. As much of that.
I'll
Not that,
say-
not that what I heard is bad,
Ooh,
but you know.
maybe I'll like it.
I am looking forward to Justice. Like that was the one that really stood out to me. The fucking harmony leads and shit that was going on.
Yeah.
It sounds like pretty crazy. And then the other track I'm really looking forward to is 4, which is Ama Taras. That one I'm really looking forward to. I wasn't a fan of Odyssey. I know that video is out. I didn't have much to say. It was a cool song. It was
You're
good.
not a fan
Not
of
my thing.
Odyssey? Interesting.
Yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of that song. It's a good song. It just wasn't for me.
That riff
Okay.
sounds pretty sick.
So Ryan, there was no parts that really felt like they were going to be heavy to you?
No, there was some. There's a couple songs where I'm like, hell yeah, I can't wait to hear that. And then there's a lot of like they got Night Flight on there, which isn't bad. It's a fun song, but I don't know. It just seems like just not what I was hoping to hear. It doesn't mean I'm not gonna like it. It's just I like basically the Haraguchi songs that she kind of wrote or developed initially, which are seem to be heavier, and it doesn't seem like that's what's going on here.
You're
So I don't know
scaring
if
me.
it's just a natural development for them or if it was a conscious effort or whatever, but I'm looking forward to hearing it, like all together. But there was a lot more it just seemed like less
I
heavy
think
stuff.
what I'm hearing, Ryan, in this album is they're flexing their their
Versatility.
versatile
Versatility.
styles. Yeah, versatility. Yeah, they're I can't say the word right. Jesus.
Don't worry, we got you covered.
Yeah.
I said it for you.
It's really different. It's really different than the last album. They keep going. It kind of sucks because like I really like the Dissension sound, you know,
Right.
and Hypnosis, and it's like, man,
Yeah.
I part of me wants that to come back, you know, just a little bit, but at the same time, it's really cool they're going into other genres, you know.
Right.
No.
To clarify, I've had bands that I've have listened to for years that come out with an album. I'm like, ugh, I don't like that. And then eventually I love it. So I'm just and my initial thing is like I want to hear heavier stuff, but that doesn't mean I'm
Okay, when
expecting
I
it to not be
said
good.
that riff is sick, I was actually hearing Rise. It's just it says Odyssey the whole time, so I thought it was Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rise sounds great to me.
Yeah.
Justice is the one I'm looking forward to. I don't know if you guys remember that one. That was the one with the harmonies. That sounded
Justice
really.
and Rise.
It seems like a lot of the chat is agreeing also with the idea that this is going to be less heavy and more diversity on the album. And I gotta say, that is like super disappointing for me. I really there's so many bands already that I feel like are in Japan that like have a lot of diversity in their catalog, and very few that like stick with there's like no new metal bands out there, man. Like they just don't really exist. And like Nemophila was the one that like started doing that and doing it really, really well.
Yes,
And
I agree.
so the idea of them moving away from that or only getting just like Rise, like the one song that we've already heard on the album, like being the only one that might be to that degree of heaviness is really like, I don't know, man. Like I'm really looking forward to this band in the future as a metal band first and foremost, and then the diversity of the catalog coming after that.
It's my selfish look at it too.
Yeah.
I wish they would do that new metal sound that they had. Like I would say like Dissension, Hypnosis, like all those songs. It would be cool if they just kept going that direction and add those flavors of Night Flight and the flavors of like the punk and elements of the song, you know, kind of like what Band-Maid does. They have the sound, but you have the elements like that are still there, but it's still the overall sound. But I'm wondering, guys, do you think they're still like experimenting to settle on a sound, or do you think like the next album they're going to keep going just random here and there?
I'm curious about how much if it's still outside writers doing most of the writing, which I never really understood with them.
But they have outside writers?
Oh yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
There's like the heaviest songs. My favorite ones are they're credited as like being written by Haraguchi-san, and then there's like outside writer, which isn't bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just curious, like if it's changed, if that's why the music changed, or if that's influenced them. It's just I don't know. I'm curious to hear it all together.
You know what I would be curious to hear, Ryan, is Dai producing them.
Yeah.
That would be a good mix. If Dai produced Nemophila, what do you guys think of that?
Sure. I mean, whatever's gonna get the most metal out of them is what I want.
They did a live stream, which I still have to watch, so that might be an indicator of where they want to go to. They just came out. You can get tickets for it.
So what songs that you guys have heard from them is the direction that you want them to go in? If you had to choose, what direction would you like them to go in?
Dissension, Rise, Adabana, like all of those, like Hypnosis.
Yes,
bro. Like
I'd like them to lean more into the hip hop shit with the metal and just.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, here's the thing. So like, I love like style. You know, I like it even more now. but it felt like sort of an anomaly, right? Where it's like, okay, this is like, I was looking at, they had that pop punk song on the last album, right?
Yeah.
Like, which was just
Oh, yeah.
straight up pop punk. And I love when they add like these random little things that are totally different than the rest of it. But I think I mentioned this before. If you're going to have like a 10-song album, like I want at least like 6 of those songs to be like what I expect out of you, and then the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
4 to be like a little bit more off the beaten path. But if every song feels like it's off the beaten path, I'm really going to struggle to sink my teeth into it. You know,
I agree with
Yeah.
you guys. I agree with you guys 100%.
yeah. So,
Interesting.
and I think that also, you know, I want them to use their talent to the most, you know, to the tippy top of what they're capable of. And
Ooh,
my personal
check the chat.
preference says that a lot of metal is what requires the most amount of talent. So that's just me.
Paul in the chat, Paul says Mayu sent a tweet a few hours ago thanking people for last night's show and added, please look forward to the changes of Nemophila from now on.
Changes.
Interesting enough, all those songs you mentioned, Champ, are Haraguchi written songs.
Are all of them?
Wow.
Gnosis Adabana rolling it. Was Style too?
About Style. I love Style. That's
that?
a great song.
Yes.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want everything to sound like Style. You know, like
yeah, I don't want them to all do the same shit over and over, but
But they have a flavor. All those songs that we mentioned,
Yeah,
metal
that
flavor.
Phrygian
injected.
dominant flavor. Mhm.
Yes. Yeah.
we'll see where they go.
it's interesting. So I'm seeing here that like Monsters and Night Flight are written by Saki, and both of them are what I would consider to be leaning more towards like the pop metal or pop rock side
Yeah.
of what they do.
I'm not
Monsters
mad
will
at
hook you
Night
on,
Flight though. I like that song. I don't know why. It's so fun. I can't help but smile when I hear that song.
Well, none of their songs are bad. You know, it's like it's not like any of their songs are bad. Like even the ones that are like not. It's just that I want that fucking metal Nemophila, bro.
I know.
Like they're so
when I think
good at it.
Nemophila,
What?
it's heavy. The heavy shit's what I want.
Okay, guys,
Yeah.
let's go back and listen to those songs then that you fell in love,
Yeah.
because they still made them.
I know,
Yeah,
but I
you
want
know.
new stuff too.
Yeah, I don't want to just listen to the same 5 songs over and over again.
Maybe
I-
their next album they'll come full circle.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm
We'll
really
see.
curious what the changes are though that Maya was talking about.
Yeah.
So did you guys listen to, because Justice sounds like they're diving into a different style of like power metal-esque kind of vibe with new metal. And that's why I'm so curious to hear that one. In that short clips, they gave like a little flashes of all those. I don't know if you guys remember that track, or if you have a chance to skip
I still
to
need
it.
to hear it.
It's really fucking
What
cool.
was it? Night Flight?
Justice.
Oh, Justice.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Power metal, like I feel like the power metal world in Japan is
No,
actually
but the-
already being like dominated.
No,
by
but
other
there's a new
bands.
metal twist to it, champ. Like it's mixed. Like if it's new metal, it's really fucking cool. Like it's not. I shouldn't have said power metal. It's just. It's different. It's another different style that they're delving in.
Does she not scream in any of the songs on the preview?
I don't think
Not
so.
that
Actually,
much.
Bruh, come on. Like I'm
know.
sorry, but like that's like it's what makes her like she's special. Like the amount of times that you watch, like this is the first reaction to Nemophila before, and then some metalhead goes, "Holy shit, dude, she's got such a crazy scream!" Like I don't want to lose that aspect of what they are.
I mean, hey, they're at 360,000 subs somehow. They're doing something right. People are loving them. I have no,
That's the other thing. It's like these are just little teaser samples right now, so there could be
True.
other parts of the songs.
For sure.
Like
Yeah.
it's so hard to get a good good sampler of long complex songs with just a little
I don't know,
snippet.
man. It's 10 songs and it's a 5-minute long, over 5-minute long video. So it's a pretty good
they're
swap.
showing a lot of it, dude. Like
yeah.
and
30
I just
seconds a song.
well let's look back to like the Baby Metal one, right, where they showed like what 8 seconds per clip or something like that.
yeah, they barely gave us anything.
Yeah, that was a pretty sweet teaser too.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it either
curious.
way. I love Nemophila. I love the originals. I'm gonna listen to it and go from there. I have a feeling there's gonna be a few songs that I'm absolutely gonna love on there.
Sure.
Cool.
I'm sure that is true, and I'm also sure that I've already heard 3 of them. So
Yeah, I mean, we've
Oh,
heard like
yeah.
half the album already. We've already heard. I think we've heard Rise already, right? And
Yep.
we've heard
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Odyssey,
Rise,
Night
Odyssey,
Flight.
and what about Oscar? Was that
That was
all the
part
way
of
out?
was it a teaser that was out for that? Or so wasn't that part of a anime? Am I wrong on that?
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
Heard something about that.
put it this way,
Might have been.
I'm still super looking forward to the album. I'm a little bit more like optimistically cautious going forward than
Mm,
than I would have been prior.
don't be. Just chill out.
I'll put it this way. It wasn't what I was wanting to hear. But
Yeah,
I'm still curious to hear it.
and just a bit take back to the baby metal again too. Like I didn't really like the teaser, and then I ended up liking the album. So, you know,
That's right.
Oh.
Oscar was on their cover album. They put Oscar on there. That's right.
Oh,
Mm,
hey, thank you, Bernard Bulwer, for the $20 super chat.
Ah,
Bernard,
hell yeah.
Thank you,
my
thank you so
dude.
much.
No message, just wanted to give
Thank
us
you
a
all
pat on
so
the
much
back.
for the super chats. Seriously, we really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
You guys rule.
You guys are super.
Mm.
So
When
Oscar,
so-
what is going to be on both albums then? Because it's in the teaser
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I haven't heard that either. So what's the date official on this? It's like the 25th or something like that.
New
album release. January 17th.
January 17th.
17th. So
That's 3
3
days.
days. Okay, so by the time we
Word.
do this show next week, we're gonna have the album. And hey guys, join me on the Champa Medium channel when I put up my first reaction
Whoa,
in
whoa,
4
whoa.
months.
Whoa. Oh, we're doing self promotion now?
A little bit.
Watch mine
It's
first.
Champ's first video in 25 years.
Yeah, it's been
That's what you're supposed to talk about in your week review or
I got to get people to show up to it, or else I'm just not gonna do it.
no, you gotta say it at the beginning. We're like, what did you do for the week? You were planning on releasing a video.
I wasn't
See?
planning on that until right now, my friend.
Oh, just right now. Just right
Just figure that out. Scott's a slow down, champ. Don't overdo it. Thanks, Scott. Maybe I'll take another few weeks.
Yeah. Just pull a maximum hormone, release a 1:30 video. And you'll be good.
Right. This is really though legitimately the first thing that since I've taken that break where I'm really like I really want to see what's going on with this. If nothing else, this conversation has made me even more intrigued as to like what this is going to sound like.
I'm gonna
Right
go
on.
back to what I said before. If you like their older music, listen to that, and because like they'll see the streaming numbers, they'll see what people are listening to the most, and by
right on.
that they'll see what they should do more of. You know?
Yeah. That's a good point. Good point.
Yeah.
All right. Nemophila, new stuff coming out in a few days. We will all have our opinions. Looking forward to hearing it though. I do. I want to hear what they got going on.
Yeah. Very much.
Better be
so.
some goddamn guitar solos. If there's not, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Bro, that would kill me. That would kill me if
Very
they just got rid
disappointed.
of
That
the
would be
guitar solo.
impossible, right?
That would no, they're too talented. There's no way that they would do that. There's no way.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Duran Gray released a new song, Flickering, their 33rd single. Duran Gray. There's a band that you really got to want to listen to them. Like that specific band.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got to be
There's
in the
no-
mood.
On random playlists, it's like, oh, here's 9 minutes of this
Right.
band.
Like you're not
But
going
what
to
they-
slot a Duran Gray song in between a Band-Maid song and like
Right.
a Nemophila song. No, like, you can't do that. You got to type
Yeah.
in Duran Gray and say, okay, I feel like
This is what
right
I'm
now.
listening to for the next 45 minutes.
Yeah, I
Get
gotta
3
listen to this
songs
whole
out of the
album.
way.
this whole 3-song album.
Their songs are
Think about that
definitely
song.
epic, and they're they cover some pretty dicey topics sometimes, and they're kind of all over the place as far as what they do. Pretty interesting band.
Great vocalist. The vocalist is insane, and 33
Yeah.
singles is just that's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
is ridiculous.
33 singles.
Okay, Deviloof released a song for the week, which oddly enough is part of our songs of the week.
Mm.
Oh,
Which we
I
did
saw
check out.
this.
I think Alan might have put a video up. I got one I recorded. I got to get put up.
Yep.
Pretty
I
cool
got a
stuff,
video
man.
reviewing all of your guys' picks.
Oh,
Yes. So check out the Gaijin Guys podcast, our channel for the reaction videos of that. Or what were they? Is that just on for the members, or is that on the?
Oh no, it's for everyone. It's public.
Okay.
We release them before the show, guys, so you guys can watch
Oh.
our reactions to them ahead of time, so you'll know what we're talking about when we do the podcast.
Or sometimes we'll release it
the
afterwards.
song is called "Song for the Week."
Yeah,
Oh, it's weak. WEAK, and I
It's
watched
weak,
it on
not
my
weak.
stream. How
Yeah.
perfect is
yeah.
that, though?
They catered to us for
Double
this episode.
entendre, or whatever.
Yeah, it is specifically submitted to us.
And they like really wanted us to talk about this.
But
They're like, we know those guys have the songs of the week. We got it.
song for the week. Wait, are you saying we're weak? Man,
What'd you guys think of that
Just another
song?
jab.
I thought it was pretty awesome, man. It had me cracking up, like not laughing at it, but just some of the stuff that happens. I'm like, what the fuck?
Wait, what
I like it.
happened? I guess I missed it. What was?
Oh,
what's
just
the
using
track?
I think there's a lot of whammy pedal usage going on, so you get all these quirky video game sounds, but it's still heavy as a goddamn
Yeah.
truck.
Oh yeah, the new the song we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Song for the week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
From their
loved it.
second-
I thought it was great. I thought
It's like
it
their
was
second EP.
they I will okay. So they were probably my favorite song that we listened to this week, but I will say I was pretty disappointed in the breakdown. You know, I'm a bridge guy, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm big into the bridges, and it was just a breakdown for like a minute, and then I was like, all right, and then it just like went back to the verse chorus. So it was like verse chorus, breakdown, verse chorus type of thing. And I thought they had so much good stuff. If they would have just had like written like a really nasty bridge in the center there, it would have been like a perfect metal song. That was my
Yeah.
only disappointment with it. But I thought that that was the first time I've heard that band. I thought they were really good as like a metal band.
Alan, what'd you think of Kokeshi?
I fucking love that. Oh my god, that was like everything
so
I
awesome?
needed this morning. It was everything I needed, man. Because I'm gonna go listen to more of them because I'm like I need some moody ass music right now, and I'm like
Yeah,
this
dude.
is fucking perfect. I wasn't expecting the screams and stuff, and like
Yeah,
just
like
the way it feels
the
sound
range of her
phenomenal.
screams is so wide, dude. I love it.
What's really cool about her screams is that they don't do a lot of processing. They're not putting a lot of
No.
distortion pedals on it. They kept it really raw. So it was even more impressive because that's her voice. You know, she's
Yeah.
legit screaming like that. 'Cause you know how people do like the scream, they add the distortion, they give it the clarity.
Yeah.
No, you got this dry, raw scream, but the sound around it really added to it. I absolutely love it. That was my favorite song of the week.
Right on.
It was great.
If you go to their channel, you can see Nana is her name. You can see her in the studio recording a song where she's doing all sorts of screams,
Oh,
and her
shit.
voice, it's like super calm. Just these screams are happening. Her voice is barely, her face is barely changing. I'm like, oh my god! But you just
Yeah.
watch her record it. It is insane.
I want to see that because what I was feeling like, because I was really into it when she does those blood curdling screams.
Yeah,
I felt like the passion and the feel. I don't
Yeah.
even know the songs, but I was like, oh my god, this
I
is
know. I do need to
hitting
look up
home.
what it's talking about.
Yeah, it hit home for me. I was just like, I want to listen to this again. It was so good.
Dude, there's
like I
live
said-
videos too,
Yeah.
live stuff, and it's just as nuts,
Oh,
dude. It's
nice.
awesome.
I'm literally listening to it as you're talking about, and when you said when she does that blood curdling scream, she was doing it, and it was like
Isn't
it
it
hit
nuts?
hard. That was crazy.
That
Yeah.
band, yeah, somebody that came up on a live stream. I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. I love it. But it oddly enough, the bands I'm listening to now are like that, where it's like more and more extreme. And I like Elliot's even like, yeah, I don't know, man. It's just pretty crazy.
I've been in the mood for extreme, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I was
You
like,
got,
need
you
that
got some
moody
feelings
music.
to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
But I enjoyed every song we picked this week was freaking incredible, dude. Like and broad spectrum too. Hip hop
yeah.
cipher. You got Fami doing everything in one song, which
Yeah,
is
that
Yeah, I was
insane.
about to say,
Dude,
she
that was
screams
incredible,
too.
dude.
So
was
there's
incredible.
a part where they're doing the bass lick, and I'm like, oh, I want to play a guitar riff right here, and then they played the riff like right afterwards. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, they did it.
Every video was just fantastic.
Should we tell people what we're talking about?
Yeah. Okay. So it's yeah. Go ahead. Wait. What was the name of the song?
It was called Passion, and it's
That's
Fami
Fami.
from Love Bites doing her solo stuff.
Yeah.
It was
Did
great.
she have more solo stuff out?
I think so. Yeah.
That was from 2 years ago, though. Like that's the
Dude, it
wild
was
thing.
so
That's not
good.
even recent. So I had to ask you guys because I listened to it. I'm like, imagine if she starts putting that in Love Bites music. I would
Yeah.
love Love Bites even more. Love
Yes.
Bites is not right up my alley with the style of music. I appreciate them, appreciate the music, but it's just not my thing. If they incorporated some Fami style stuff like that in there, I'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck yeah. You know, because Love Bites, I either like the song or don't like it. I have a lot of hit and misses. Like I like a handful of songs off of albums. So
Sure.
I wonder if they'll ever incorporate that shit that she's doing because it's
I
great.
don't know. I don't see it happening.
I don't
I
either.
don't
man.
know.
It's
I want
just
it
like
so
so it
bad.
would change the music so much for
It'd
her
be
to play
like,
in
well,
that
if
style.
Judas Priest didn't, if
Too
they
much
changed up what they
variety.
did,
In the sound.
But I will
they're
say
like
what
established.
dude, whatever happened in the middle of that song though, like right in the center, like I don't even know how to explain it. It was like, okay, we got this like jazzy kind of like bumpy, like catchy stuff going on in the beginning and the end, and then like right in the center, suddenly it just turns into this chaos. I think she
Just went
probably
freaking hardcore.
use some of that stuff in the Love Bites,
Yeah.
maybe a little bit of that stuff. But man, it was so nasty when that came up because I remember the first, I was getting a little agitated. I'm not gonna lie. In the first half of the song, that I was like trying to listen to her bass because obviously like she's a bassist first and foremost, and they were playing this like keyboard riff over her bass lick that was almost like making it hard to hear the bass. And
It's
I was
probably
just
her
hearing the
playing it.
keyboard. And then I was like, wait a minute, is she just playing like all of these instruments? I was trying to figure
Right?
that out. Is she is she playing the keyboard or the guitar in it?
I
I don't know.
know.
She's obviously singing and playing
That's a
bass.
good question for the chat.
Her voice,
Yeah.
her voice is great though too. Like I was listening to the vocals
Yes,
and the melodies
yeah.
and stuff. I wasn't even paying attention to the bass, and then it went all hardcore. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I know that scream came out of nowhere. I was like, what?
Oh yeah, what the hell? That scream? Where did that come from?
Yeah.
One random scream right in the center. It's just-
Well, I was just talking about this with John Reeves. We were talking about how important it is to have, sparingly use your different vocal techniques. That was a great example of it. Like not expecting to scream and then it just
Yeah.
like hits out of nowhere.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was a
that's what
perfect
I
use
like.
of it.
She is the reason why I still listen to Love Bites, or listen for future Love Bites. Is I'm like I have the hopes of some of that style oozing over. I really do.
Yeah, well, technically, she hasn't composed yet on. Like, I guess she did have a little bit of influence, but most of the
did.
parts were already written for her ahead of
interesting.
time. So, like, this next album will be the first time where she's 100%, in
Yeah, it could
composition control.
could have an impact.
Yeah, unless they tell her to tone it down, but I hope they don't do that, right?
I think they're gonna have her tone it down. Honestly,
she's very good. I want to hear her be very good.
Okay,
in the
so
song.
Love Bites is an example of what we're talking about with Nemophila, where they do seem to have a pretty uniform style, don't you think?
Yeah,
exactly. Yep.
Nemophila does not.
Yeah, so they're like two opposite sides of the spectrum. We see Nemophila literally playing whatever genre they want, and Love Bites
But
sticking to one specific genre,
But Wave, how about this? This is my example of a band that keeps the flavor of themselves, but are able to change it underneath. And I would say Maximum Hormone does that pretty successfully. Where like you have the flavor of Maximum Hormone, but they do a lot of different genres, but every genre is that flavor of Maximum Hormone.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Where Nemophila, I'm not getting that constantly, It's like
it's true.
But
Interesting.
Mayu is the consistent thing for sure. But some songs you're like, okay, she's changing it up to that more ballady stuff. I would say Mayu does, but that is how it registers in my head, if that makes sense.
I agree with you. Like Night Flight literally could be from a different band than Rise, like legitimately.
It's kind of how Gotcha Expend is. Like there's not like a common thread
I was about to
throughout
bring them up.
everything.
Yeah.
True, yeah.
And that's believe I love them, but that's I think like I was saying, you can't hear one song and then go listen to cool, I want to hear stuff like that. You go and you're like, well, none of this is like that.
Yeah.
And that'll it'll put people off of looking further into it and finding a lot of great music.
And we
And
even
that's-
said that with like Atrix Spin's newer stuff, they kind of come off as like they are kind of getting a little bit more uniform, which might be easier for people to pick up. Even Baby Metal, I think this last album was probably their most uniform album. So maybe they're trying to do that, like, kind of, and Nemophila might be going in the opposite direction. I don't, but I just want metal. I just want something. That's all it comes down to for me.
Well,
All right. Well, yeah, I like
Incredible songs.
dude, I thought that Fami song was great. I thought it was awesome. so unique. Her voice is good too. I'm surprised that I didn't know that she was a capable singer too before this. So.
Fami
Unshaken.
released a 6-song EP in 2021. Okay, I need
Yeah.
to check that out.
Unshaken in the chat says, just listen to the trailer, and I'm not really finding all the complaints y'all have. Sounds almost exactly what I expect from them.
All right.
I agree it is what you would expect from them, but I don't think we were complaining about it.
No, just mentioning like what we're expecting. Type of thing.
Were we complaining?
I was trying not to complain about it, but I was still kind of like,
This is the internet, Alan. Anything you say that's not praise will be interpreted as complaining.
Okay.
That's true. I'm very much looking forward to it, regardless.
Yeah, I'm still gonna listen. I love Nemophila, but
no. Anything else about the songs of the week? Oh, did any of you actually listen to the one that I put out there? I know Alan had already heard it.
I would have, but I totally forgot it was Sunday. So
no,
I love it, dude.
I could tell you, like, so from what I remember, because I did break down each individual part. I listened to it again, and I thought it was really, really good. My favorite was Maya's voice. And the very first one, what I liked about that one was the music production. The music production was great. Maya was my favorite vocalist. And then the last one I really, really enjoyed a lot. The third one, not my thing. But
the third one least.
I'm pretty sure
worst beat. She had the worst beat easily.
Yeah. These ciphers generally like this. It's like the last one's going to be the killer. You know, it's usually how they work. So I was expecting great things. And then last one came up. I was like, oh hell yeah, dude, this is it's pretty awesome. Yeah. I liked all of it though. It was really cool, man.
Yeah. By the way, we're talking about XG's Gal's cipher, right?
Yeah.
I think I actually saw this. I think Matt Horseman had me check this out.
Yeah, he's who got me to check it out first.
Okay. I watched it like a year ago. Okay.
I was gonna say the last singer, I thought she was a mix of the 3 prior vocalists all in one.
Yeah.
I felt like she was gonna have some crazy range. I don't know what she does on her solo projects, and I was kind of curious to like what else she does, because it sounds like she has the ability to do even more things, because she had a mixed voice of all the other 3 I thought before. It was like all
so let me give you a little bit of a breakdown then. So it goes Kokona, who in this video is 16, then Maya, who's also 16, and then Harvey, who I think was 19, and Jern, I think was 19 also. I believe those are the correct ages. So the only one that actually speaks English fluently is Maya. So that's like, you know, the second one who's doing the really fast rapping in mostly English.
She was good.
You can definitely tell that she's like, you know, English. She's got very good English speaking skills. The beats that they used are actually like, some of them are like really popular beats. The first 2 are actually, have you guys ever heard of JID? He's a rapper.
No.
Okay, so they're both JID beats. The second one is a J Cole beat, JID and J Cole. And then the other 2, the last 2, I think Harvey's and Juren's are both originals, I believe. Juren's I love. Harvey's I think just sucks. I think that beat is,
the first beat was awesome, fucking amazing. You guys watch my reaction. I broke it down there, but that old timey feel that they had in that with the modern was really, really good. And just the way it was mixed was perfectly done. It was by far the best production. It like hands down. The other ones were good, but yeah, one was really weird. I wasn't a fan of it. Or it seems like there was a lot of creative things being done with that first beat, that they put some love into that shit. Like that wasn't just like done in seconds. There's a lot of love in that beat.
Right on.
Did Champ freeze? He did freeze. I was like,
he did.
I was expecting him to say something back. For those listening, Champ has frozen in middle.
He's just happy boy.
He's gone. He's gone now.
He's gone.
But,
okay, could you guys hold down the fort? I need to pee.
All right, you go. You go urinate. What's next? Well, I think that was the songs of the week. I don't think we have anything else to cover from that. What's after that?
Well, I guess we'll go on to the next bit of news.
All right, let's do it.
Ayumi Hamasaki donates 10 million yen for earthquake relief. There was an earthquake in Japan January 1st, and it was big. There's been a lot of, I mean, it's horrible. Been a lot of people doing, trying to raise some money for it. She donated 10 million yen. I think it's around $70,000. Significant amount. But she said she's following Yoshiki's philanthropy because Yoshiki has done a lot to help a lot of people with
Yeah.
his influence and um, recognizability. So it's just a pretty awesome thing, and it's sad, but it's cool to see these people trying to just do what they can,
Yeah, it's
use their
a
status to help people out.
that's really good. My friend Joey was in Japan when that earthquake went off, so he felt
Oh, it
he felt
was.
3. He felt a 3 where he was at in Japan. He was
Wow.
staying with my friend Mark, with our friend Mark or whatnot, and he said he felt it over there. Because I call him like, "Dude, you okay?" Because there was a plane incident that happened just recently where it took out some people on the planes collided. They clipped.
Yeah, that's coming in on the runway.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I was like, and he was over there for a month. I'm like, dude, you all right? Like, you were.
man. Yeah,
But that's really
so
cool that people are stepping up to help them out and everything.
Yep. I think Yoshiki just got to get on the footprints and the handprints in the man's theater in Hollywood. I think he just got that recently.
Oh, Simno just said Hanabi is also doing some good drive for the earthquake relief. Also,
Ah,
that's cool to hear. Awesome.
yes. So I'm hoping. We got a lot of fans over there hoping they're safe. Well,
All right.
top
All right. Top
tens.
10.
Where are
Yep.
these guys at?
It's all good. Let's get out of here before they come back. Let's
Yeah. Bye. Oh, okay. Let me see. I actually do have them up.
Look at that.
So, with new entries this week, we'll start with that. New entries this week. Matano Opera, Reign of Light comes in at 43. Nemophila Rise official live video comes in at 44. It's good to mention that. Think about it. Desert Hopeless comes in at 52. And Deviloof song for the week comes in at 69. 69,
Hell yeah.
dude. Oh, there's Wave. Looks like he's
All
chilly.
right.
Cool,
So-
man. Top tens. We'll move on to the top 10. We have East of Eden moving up 4 with Hanabi.
Wow.
That was a cool song, man.
It was a cool song.
Very cool song. Third East of Eden release and the second to make the top 10. Fantastic.
Oh, wait,
9.
I haven't heard this one. This is the
Haven't?
third song? No.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, shit. No, I've only heard the 2. Dude, this band's fucking killing it.
Yeah. Yeah. They've pretty awesome. Baby Metal up 1 with Maya. Live Blu-ray DVD. Okay.
Oh, interesting.
Finally reached the top 10 with a track from their latest live DVD. Baby Metal Begins, the other one, Black Clear Nights. Cool, man.
Hell yeah.
Staying relevant.
Yep.
Number 8, Lunacy with G stays right where it was. 7, Croy with Hyper. I don't remember seeing that, but apparently they've been at number 7 before.
Yeah, I don't remember that one
Croy
either.
is a funk rock band formed on February 3rd, 2018.
Mm.
Hey Smith, down 1 for Say My Name. I know we've seen that. It's been up there a while.
Yeah, we've checked that one out.
Chili Beans, welcome. Up 1 spot to number 5. I like Chili Beans. You heard them?
No, I haven't. I've not heard
Their
this one either.
name pretty much it describes what it's what you expect. They're pretty chill. It's just a really cool band. I dig them. Chili Beans are a
All right.
3-piece band from Japan, formed in 2019. Neo garage style fuses rock with next generation sound.
Oh yeah.
It's just a pleasant listen.
All right.
I guess is how I'll explain them. Chili Beans.
When you say chili beans is what you would expect, I just hear like
Well,
fart noises in my head.
Yeah. Never mind. That was the wrong way to put it. I think that the chill aspect of it makes sense. The chili beans, I don't know.
Yeah,
So,
you relax too
I said
hard.
And then mushy pushy.
There it
Oh,
is.
God.
There you go.
Bring it back around town.
FZMZ Broken Games stays, and now I'm hungry every time I see this. Like, oh man, I miss real sushi. Pronounced Fathoms. Of course, it's pronounced Fathoms.
How do you spell it?
FZMZ.
Oh, of course. Why wouldn't you know that?
Give me a break. Come
Fathom.
on.
Stays at number 4. Number 3,
How do
East of
people
Eden.
even
This
figure this
moment.
out?
Number 4 is East of Eden stays where they were at this moment. Number 2, Necry Talkie
Damn, 2
with
songs.
Bloom, staying there. So number 1 is 10 Feet Reequation, still at number 1.
Okay.
Ah,
It's
yes.
been there for I think a year and a half.
The
Real
milk.
quick about East of Eden too. They have other songs already up. So they have 5 tracks. I don't know if they just
Yeah.
they dropped the whole EP, I think, is
Yeah.
out. So it's a 5-song EP.
Hmm.
So that's really cool. So there's quite a few songs to check out by
Sweet.
them.
Cool.
Good stuff, man.
Oh yeah.
All right. Is that all we got for today?
Yeah, I got some ending comments
So,
real quick
s-
when you guys
All
are done.
right.
All right. End us, baby.
All right, guys. So we're starting a second show. We got a newcomer that's going to be joining us every single Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. I believe I have that time right. Just look out for it. It's not going to be a live show. We're going to record it and then upload it. So we're going to update during the week on the Japanese music news. So we're going to keep more up to date. We're going to have a lot of little recaps, and we're going to have a lot of shorter videos popping up during the week. So to keep you guys informed, we're stepping up our game this year, like we promised we would. And it's thanks to you guys, the members, Patreon supporters. You guys are. Thank you so much for helping us get this rolling, and everyone that watches these videos. And this is why we're expanding the content. As you guys saw, there's reactions coming up of people that we meet out in public, things like that. We're going to keep doing that. And with the second show, the guys will also be joining us if they can make it. I know Ryan, John, and I will be doing the first one. So
John?
Did you?
if you don't know who John is, John
Well, you
Reeves.
didn't introduce him.
Did I? I thought I did. I
No,
thought I
you
did.
didn't say it was.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, John Reeves is going to be joining us.
From
For
John
the
Reeves
podcast.
Reacts.
Woo!
And he's gonna be joining us for the Wednesday show. And yeah, and we're just gonna be talking about Japanese music news and other music related things. We're gonna talk about music everything. So more in depth about guitar playing and singing, and a lot of the music aspects are gonna be injected a lot more. Since he produces and does a lot of stuff too. And we're working on a few songs also, and
Oh,
we're
sick.
excited to share all that with you.
So
And I think that's all the news I have for that. But a lot of stuff happening. I have Imagination coming back on again, guys, on our podcast. She's going to tell us about her Spain visit with Baby Metal. Looking forward to
Nice.
that. We have the Rockstar podcast. He's joining me for a podcast in the future that will be coming out later this month. So a lot of new stuff coming out. A lot more. We're doubling up the content. We're going crazy. And it's thanks to you guys. I just want to say I appreciate everything. Our whole focus is to just make this better than last year, and that's why we were coming out with a bang with all these videos. If you wonder why there's so much content coming out of this channel, that was the goal, that was the plan. We're going to keep it up.
Hell yeah.
Thanks, Alan.
cool. Looking forward to all the stuff.
That's all the stuff.
Just all the stuff. It's cool.
Me too.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
Alan's been killing
We-
it, trying to get in contact with more people. I appreciate seeing those videos, man. It's cool getting that different aspect of it.
Are we gonna
Yeah.
make a five rectangle thing?
My rectangle thing.
A
I don't know
5
how-
rectangle.
Wouldn't that just be a pentagon?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Wait, no, I'm talking about I'm talking about our screen layout. If we get all 5 of us on at
I
once,
think, yeah.
I guess these are questions I don't need to ask on live stream.
I'll share. I'll
True,
share
true.
my rectangle with John. He can take half of mine. I
Whoa,
don't need a
whoa,
whole
whoa.
rectangle.
Let's wait till he's here before.
Look
you
at
start
all
talking about
that
sharing your
part of my
rectangle.
camera. You could just cut that shit out. You don't need to spend. Just
We
overimpose
could
him into this.
Put John on Alan's screen in the back for now.
His actual TV screen.
Yeah.
Just
Perfect.
Inception.
Yeah. Well, I'll just put it like this, and then he'll be here.
He should.
there you
He
go.
should be watch. He should have a screen too, where he's watching you. And then
Yeah,
it's just,
he can be reacting to the gadget.
Yeah, but
guys.
I'll have it on my TV, and that's how we'll do it. So
all right, guys. If you want anything
Nice.
else from us, there's always the other places that you can find us, including our channel memberships, which have been getting new content pretty consistently recently, or our Patreon at patreon.com/guys. You can always check our socials, which will be updated sometimes and other times, maybe not
Some
so
more
much.
regularly than others.
Yeah. But I think we're going to try to be more consistent with the socials going forward beyond this month. But yeah,
I do want to
that's
shoot
pretty much
out there. Anyone interested in writing articles and stuff for the website? feel free to reach out to us. You'll be talking with Andrew afterwards directly, but you can reach out to any of us if you're interested in writing or doing articles. You're able to go to shows, do reports. We need lots of help in that area to keep it updated. So if that's something you're into, or you're always out and about and you want to write and you have that writer's urge, let us know, hit us up, and then we'll get something set up and talk to you. Definitely, if we haven't already, John just joined us recently, so we're always looking for people that want to, expand this thing with us.
Yep. And hit that like button before you leave, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
83
If you're listening
likes.
for Spotify, go to YouTube and hit the like button.
Yeah.
Pull over right now.
Pull over right now. Go to that. But in case you didn't know, our podcast is everywhere on all streaming platforms.
Yes. And one more
91
big,
likes.
super
Come on.
big thank you to all the super chatters today, who, especially
Seriously
you, Bill,
helps a lot,
who
guys.
threw it into us before we even started the show, man. That's how you get a good show going right there.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. Until next time.
Woo!
Bye.
Adios.
Bye.